multidisciplinary professional body encompassing 15 engineering disciplines with about 10 lakh membership and gives engineers a global platform for sharing professional interest and information. IIA was established in the year 1920 with its headquarters at Calcutta and incorporated in 1935 by Royal Charter. It is the only professional body in India accorded this honor and serving the engineering fraternity for more than a century. It provides a vast array of technical, professional, and supporting services to the government, industries, academia, and the engineering fraternity operating through its 125 centers located across the country and 6 overseas chapters. Besides, IA has bilateral agreements with about 31 international bodies and membership of another 8 international bodies of the developed nations across the globe. I am glad to inform that the Telangana State Center is the legacy of erstwhile Nizam's Hyderabad State Center, formed on 28 August 2016 after bifurcation from AP State Center. It has more than 10,000 corporate members on its rolls. It is one of the most active centers of the Institution of Engineers India, which engaged successfully in translating the objectives and mission of IEI into practice and bagged the Best State Center Award for 4 times. That is in the years 2018-19, 19-20, 21-22, and 22-23. Just in the span of 7 years, 4 times it was awarded the Best State Center among all 125 centers of IEI. The Telangana State Center has been playing a very important role in dissemination of information on engineering and contemporary technology, bringing industry, academia, experts, and professionals together onto the same platform. Now, I will take this opportunity to say a few words about veteran Padmabhushan Dr. K.L. Rao, Honorary Life FIE. Dr. K.L. Rao, eminent engineer, known throughout the engineering community, both in our country and outside, and who hailed from the state of erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Kanuri Lakshmana Rao was born on 15th July 1902 in the village of Kankipadu of Krishna district in Andhra Pradesh. From a very early stage, Dr. K.L. Rao garu came in contact with the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, Quran, and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He had a brilliant academic career. He studied intermediate course in Presidency College, Madras. Though a course in mathematics honors was offered, engineering professional attracted him and he joined the College of Engineering, Gindi, Madras. He took mechanical engineering as the subject, but later on specialized in civil engineering. Subsequently, he worked as a lecturer in Gindi College and also did his MSc in civil engineering, an exceptional achievement in those days. After specialization in RCC in France, he worked in Birmingham University. Later, he joined as a senior lecturer in Loughborough College, London. At this time, he did his PhD. He has written the book Calculation, Design, and Testing of Reinforced Concrete, which is recommended as a textbook for graduate students in the subject. Another notable point was that this book was published by Isaac Pitman and Company Sons Limited, London, which was considered a rare honor in those days. In 1947, he returned to India to involve himself in the investigation of Ramapada Sagar project on River Godavari in then composite state of Madras. He joined PWD Madras as design engineer. Due to political changes during this period, his project did not come through, and all his efforts in this regard received a setback. He was disheartened. But the rich experience gained by him on this project had been purposefully utilized in design and planning of other major dams in the then Madras state, particularly in Krishna Basin. In his own words, the Ramapada Sagar project provided the fillip in the following decades for starting a number of dams in Madras state and elsewhere in the country. It is worth mentioning here that Dr. K. L. Rao felt that it is an imminent need with the advent of independence food production by construction of large irrigation projects. The brilliance of this dedicated engineer has attracted the attention of Dr. A.N. Khosla, the founding father of the erstwhile Central Water and Power Commission. He joined CW and PC as director design in 1951, which coincided with the commencement of planned development of the country. He was the engineer who designed Hirakud Dam. He was instrumental in bringing into existence the Nandikonda project, now called Nagarjuna Sagar project, in spite of many protests regarding submergence of famous Nagarjuna relics. He also planned Srisalam project. In his view, it would afford necessary linkage to Ganga Kaveri link as and when it is taken up. He was promoted as chief engineer in 1954 and as member design and research in 1956. His tenure in CW and PC marked hectic activity, and he was responsible for the rapid growth of irrigation and power projects spread all over India. He received many prizes in recognition of his high-ranking service, like the President of India's Prize for the best papers contributed to the Institution of English India Journal during 1947 to 48, 1953 to 54, and also in the year 1957 and 58. He was also awarded the doctorate honoris causa by the Andhra University of Roorkee in the year 1968. He visited a number of countries either for study of various projects or to attend international conferences for active participation. During the annual session of the Institution of Engineers India held on 5th February 1960 at New Delhi, Dr. K. L. Rao, as president of the Institution of Engineers, has given a remarkable, eloquent, and extempore presidential address. Dr. K. Rao said, the progress of a country in modern times depends on the efficiency and talent of its engineers and scientists who have to work as a team. Even war is no longer confined to soldiers, but is really a battle between laboratories. Institution of Engineers places itself at the disposal of government for consultation on engineering matters, objective evaluation of projects, and any other service in the development of the country. Dr. Rao made so many other important points and also in his speech. Prime Minister Pandit Nehru, who inaugurated the session, heard the speech with rapt attention throughout and admired the same. When his turn came, he said, we have just been listening to the President's address, an extempore address, although written down elsewhere, which was perfectly remarkable in the way it puts, I thought, in simple language and without any flourishes, some of the basic problems before engineers and in fact before India. I must say that I have profited by listening to it, and if I may so, in a very large measure, I agree with what he has said. Later, the President of the Congress and the former President of India, Sri Neelam Sanjeev Reddy, introduced him to the field of politics by getting him elected to the 3rd Lok Sabha from Vijayawada parliamentary constituency. Pandit appointed him as a Minister of State for Irrigation and Power on 19th July 1963. His earlier stint in CW and PC helped him to grapple with the problems in this sector in a short period and pursued, though the projects at a good pace. He was mainly instrumental in planning, design, and construction of gigantic projects like the Farakka Barrage project and the mighty Ganga. He was responsible for the creation of Rural Electrification Corporation to extend the power benefits to a vast number of villages in the country. He was also responsible for establishing the water and power consultancy services in 1969 to utilize the vast reservoir of talent available for undertaking projects both within and outside the country. So it is an unparalleled record of fact that this great engineer was appointed as Minister for Irrigation and Power by three successive prime ministers, that is Panditji, Shastriji, and also Indira Gandhiji. The tenure lasted for a little over 10 years from 1963 to 1973. He was conferred prestigious Padmabhushan in the year 1963 in recognition of his services to the country in the field of engineering. To utilize the large volumes of wastewater going into the sea, he considered the linking of rivers like Ganga Kaveri link, Brahmaputra Ganga link, canal from the Narmada to Gujarat and western Rajasthan, and a canal from the Chambal to central Rajasthan, and links from rivers of western Ghats towards east. Dr. Neelam Sanjeev Reddy Garu, former President of India, in his foreword to the book, Q6 Candidates, an autobiography of Dr. K.L. Rao, refers to the rich and varied experience of Dr. K.L. Rao as a teacher, as a field engineer, designer of dams, administrator, and as a minister. His variegated career should be a shining example to all our engineers, scientists, and planners. We need persons of his caliber and dedication to realize the country's plans for speedy economic development. Today, the Telangana State Center is arranging 123rd birthday celebrations of great Padmabhushan Dr. K.L. Rao Honorary Life FIE on the topic benchmarking of irrigation projects by Professor K.V. Jayakumar Garu. Since you are anxiously awaiting to hear the talk from our eminent speaker, I am limiting myself and hope that you will really enjoy the talk. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty welcome to the keynote speaker, Professor K.V. Jayakumar Garu, and all of you for this endowment lecture of the great person. Thank you, one and all. Now I request Engineer M. Aruna, Joint Honorary Secretary of IEA Telangana State Center and convener of the event, to introduce today's keynote speaker, Professor Jayakumar Garu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, one and all. Today we all gather Padmabhushan sir 123rd birthday celebration of Dr. KVL Rao sir. It's very immense pleasure to celebrate today the celebrations of KVL Rao sir, and the keynote speaker of today, Professor KV Jayakumar sir. He will be giving a very good talk about today's topic, the benchmarking of irrigation projects. Before going to the talk about the today event, we will have a small brief introduction about sir activities and the sir achievements throughout his lifetime. Professor Jayakumar sir had his early education at Ooty and Konur in the Nilgiri districts of Tamil Nadu. He obtained his BTech degree in civil engineering from the Karnataka Regional Engineering, which is presently known as NIT Karnataka. And sir has done his MTech degree in water resources. Today it is very much useful, water resources, from IIT Kanpur. And sir has even done his PhD from IIT Kanpur in water resources itself. Actually, sir, he is having very much good experienced experts in hydrology and water resources, urban storm water management, remote sensing and GIS applications, which are very much applicable for today's environment management. And we are talking about the sustainability, climatic changes. Sir, he's having a very good knowledge about environment flows and the wildlife, which is helpful for today's climatic conditions. Sir has even guided 12 PhD thesis, and he has guided many 120 MTech project related towards the water resources, which is used in many fields of present life. And even sir has educated BTech projects in the BTech engineering colleges at NIT Warangal. His service towards engineering students is grateful in achieving the research works towards the environment and the water wetlands. Presently, sir, he is serving as a visiting professor at IIT Dharwad, and he's also the member governing of Wetlands International South Asia. And one more we can speak about, sir. He is a member of many national and international organizations which are helpful for us in present situation. For example, sir, he is a member of Lake Protection Committee for Warangal region. Just now, sir was also, our chairman was talking regarding the lake protection, which is very much important in today's sustainability and even today's climatic conditions. Sir is a member of Lake Protection, and sir has very much interest towards the groundwater storing and groundwater protection, which is useful in the pollution. He is also a member of the pollution board. He give good suggestions towards the pollution recovering and how to maintain the pollution. So sir, he is a member of even NIH, and sir has even served the UPSC service members, which is helpful for the youth in the UPSC exams. He is a committee member even there in that organization also. And one more interesting topic is, sir, he is well known to many languages apart from Telugu, English and Hindi, Tamil, Kannada and Malayalam. Actually, sir is very much attachment with Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. And sir has visited many foreign countries, Germany, France, Russia, and he is also aware of Germany language and French and Russian languages also, which is helpful for attending the conferences and interaction with the international bodies. And I can say one more thing is regarding sir, that he is very much close attached with IEI. Today we are very much glad to have sir to have a talk on benchmarking marking of irrigation projects, because sir before also he has accepted our invitation, and he has given a very good talks on environmental day and water day management, and he is also a member of the water forum. So really it's my immense pleasure to introduce today on this occasion, sir. We welcome you, sir, and we are eagerly waiting for your talk, sir. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Thank you, madam. Now I request Professor Jayakumar Garu to present his talk. Sir, Jayakumar Garu.
I'm just sharing my presentation. Yes. And at the outset, I should thank Institute Engineers for identifying me for this talk, especially an endowment lecture in the memory of Dr. K.L. Rao, who is one of my, I'm a great fan of him. And when I was doing my BTech in 1975, I purchased a copy of his book called India's Water Wealth and read the whole thing at that time. And that actually generated a lot of interest in water resource in me. And, probably he was the first engineer, especially water resource appointed as an irrigation engineer in the country. No other engineers with water resource have been appointed irrigation engineer. That's a great thing for us. And then Krishna is a river which is very close to me. When I was doing masters in IIT Kanpur in 1981, I traveled along River Krishna from his source till he joined the sea to develop the operation policy for all the 19 reservoirs in Krishna Basin, which is a project given to IIT Kanpur by Central Water Commission. So I had seen every reservoirs in Krishna Basin, and there's a great experience. Now, what I thought is, when I was asked a topic, I thought instead of being rather technical, I'll talk on the performance of irrigation systems even by means of benchmarking of the system. So I'll just share. I had prepared a presentation which I'll share now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is my
Yes, sir.
presentation visible?
Yes, sir,
yes.
it's visible.
Yes, no.
Presentation is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The screen is visible, right? Presentation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. So this is a topic I decided to talk on this day. In fact, I am very proud today because 2 months back, I gave the Dr. Balakundri Endowment Lecture in Karnataka. He is a great Karnataka engineer. After Vishwasrai's 101st birthday, the Endowment Lecture I gave. At the second time, I'm giving Endowment Lecture for a great engineer. So I'm very proud of it. So let us start this talk with a very positive affirmation that today is going to be awesome. Let's start with that. Now, this is a map prepared in the year 1995 to see the availability of water in the world. If you look at this map, the first map is 1950, which shows the darker color in the map shows there is scarcity of water. The light color shows there is plenty of water. So if we see 1950, India is in a light color, not dark color. It's white, it's a light gray color. And then 1995, India became dark blue. And then if you continue the use of water at the rate that we are using 1995, we are reaching a level of the 2025 next year, which shows India in dark color. Not only India, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, the whole of Gulf, whole of North Africa, being in black color. Now, black color shows we have catastrophically low amount of water in the world, in this region. Catastrophic low amount of water means less than 1,000 cubic meters per head per year. That is what we call catastrophic. So we will be having, if we continue the use of water at the rate that we are using in 1995, we are going to get a catastrophic low amount of water. Now, this map was published in 1999 before we entered the millennium, and this was not accepted by across the world. So this was revised by the International Institute of Water Management in Sri Lanka, and this map was prepared. Now look at this map. This map shows the central portion of India in red color and the coastal area of India in yellow color. Now let me just concentrate on India only. Rest of the country, world I will not talk about. The central portion, physical water scarcity means physically water is not available to meet the demand. Demand for drinking water, demand for agriculture, not available, whereas the coastal region, starting from West Bengal to Orissa, to Tamil Nadu, to even Kerala, the Goa coast, Karnataka coast, Maharashtra coast, it's in yellow color. It says there is water but no money to develop. So economic water scarcity. Now look at this, and blue color says little or no water scarcity. That means whole of Russia, whole of America, and most of the part of Europe have no water scarcity, whereas the major portion, South Africa, the whole of Africa, many part of Asia, and so the whole of Australia is having water scarcity. So this map was prepared in 2005. I happen to be one of the members which prepared this map for the UNESCO. And this map was again not accepted because this was based on the average availability of water. So this is corrected. And the year 2013, this map was brought about. This map is the currently accepted map for all projects across the world. Now look at here. Now you have a band at the bottom, different colors, which says absolute scarcity, then scarcity, stress, vulnerability, etc., etc. Now it shows, let us look at India. India is in a water stress, water vulnerable region now. This is accepted, so we continue like that. Now look at the rest of the whole of America, both south and north, many part of Africa, the whole of Australia, and many part of the Philippines, Indonesia, Jakarta, etc., and whole of Russia and Europe are not having water stress problem. This is accepted, and all the development activities by support by various organizations are using this map today for all the studies. That means India is a water stressed, water vulnerable country. It's accepted. Now you must also remember, though it rains, our rainy season is for 4 months, the actual number of rainy days in India is only about 60 to 70 days. Now, for example, if I take, one of the in the introduction, what is missed, one important point that is missed was I worked as a faculty in NIT Warangal for about 30 years. I joined in 93 as an assistant professor, promoted as professor in 1999, and I worked there till 2023 in various capacities, including the head of the department, dean, in charge director, everything. So that institute gave me a tremendous, scope for growing, and which has produced so many good engineers of the combined Andhra Pradesh as well as Telangana. My last student was Mr. Shyam Sundar, former Director General, Valamtari. He registered with me at the age of 55 and got his PhD at the age of 61. So he was my last student as a chief engineer, Telangana, and the Director General, Valamtari. That's just extra information. So now, so if we have water, what is happening? Now, this is the water stress map. So if you look at India, it's a green color. That means if irrigation-wise, if you provide we have domestic water supply, blue, red color is industry water supply, third is irrigation. So if I supply a complete domestic, this is I will have shortage of irrigation. India has shortage of irrigation. Green color shows the water is shortage for irrigation. The blue color shows the shortage for stress for domestic. Red color shows the shortage for industry. So we have tremendous shortage for irrigation in our country. So what is benchmarking? Benchmarking is we identify organizational specific best practices to compare current performance with previous performance of a project with the desired norms. This is a systematic process useful for monitoring and securing continuous improvement. That means I will construct a project, it has to be continuously improved. That is what I do. In fact, irrigation projects are highly cost extensive. It is time intensive and cost extensive. Most projects finish in a couple of years, whereas we take 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Nagasagar took 30 years to reach its final level. And the cost originally was about 300 crores. By the time we finished, about 3,000 crores. So there's a lot of cost overrun in the projects. So unless the large investment is supported by proper operation, many of the irrigation projects will become problems. So we try to benchmark and see how the system is improving from year to year. So it is, it's basically a quality and productivity improvement approach. So the quality of irrigation water supplied and its use are closely related to productivity. We not only talk about quantity of water, but also the quality of water. So we need, we have to see that the performance of the project is enhanced. So now a study was conducted. Why there's a large deficit between the irrigation potential created and actual utilization. The first such study was done in 1972, which found there was a 4 million hectares difference between the potential created and actual utilization. So a committee was formed to find out why this happens. So a few reasons were put here, and one of the reasons is one is the need for modernization of pre-planned and early planned systems to provide water outlet delivery points to the farmers at the right time and to the right quantity. That means when the project was constructed, we still did not know the modern approaches. So we need to modernize the earlier planned and pre-planned projects so that water is delivered outlet point to the farmers at the right time and in the right quantity. Second one, most important, we never bothered about the drainage in irrigation system. So lack of adequate drainage resulting in waterlogging conditions, due to excess water used in irrigation crops, as well as due to soil characteristics. India has a wide variety of soil, starting from clay soil, majority portion, alluvial soil, red soil, desert soil, soils are unproductive. So we cannot have the same system of irrigation everywhere. Our irrigation system should be consistent with the availability of water, the climate, and the soil. Then we did not have distributed system within the outlet, and there is no rotational distribution of water to the farmers. Then there is no land consolidation, no land leveling, so other actions were not there. There is no anticipatory research. We construct a project, we did not anticipate the problem. So we have to see anticipatory research on optimal use, especially in black cotton soils, which has got considerable soil moisture retaining capacity. Then suitable infrastructure extended services. When you have an irrigation system, we need so many other things. We need storage for the products used. We need a maintenance system. we need so many other raw materials, etc. It was not there. Then poor coordination between the concerned government organizations in the command areas. The irrigation system is controlled by so many people. The irrigation department, the agriculture department, the revenue department, and maybe even the police many times when the water theft is there. So there is poor coordination between the concerned government organization in the command areas. Now, when they did this, there was also study on why our canal irrigation management are not working. What were the inadequacies in the canal irrigation management? Insufficient planning and preparation at the stage of execution of the project, which resulted in longer construction time and escalated projects. So there is no planning and research at the initial stages. So it increased the construction time and escalated project. In fact, interestingly, in olden days, when I know many of us who did BTech before 1979, we all underwent a 5-year BTech program, where we had a strong blend of humanities and economics. So we were trained at those days to construct a project which is technically correct, economically viable, and socially acceptable. The present generation doesn't have that. So we have to plan it. And there are more than one ministry department is involved in irrigation management, and there's poor coordination among them. Then non-responsive, authoritarian, and poor administration result in increased malpractices. Lack of interaction between engineering and agriculture experts. I'll be showing a small picture where engineers and hydrologists come into, agriculture people come into picture. The lag between the creation of potential and its utilization. We create a potential, the utilization is much delayed. Then this is a very important thing. Next point, improper assessment of personnel, equipment, and other facilities for proper operation maintenance of reservoirs and canal system. So the right type of people are not there. We did not have to put the irrigation system, which results in erratic, unreliable, insufficient supplies and inequitable distribution of available water. Higher conveyance loss, absence of conjunctive use of groundwater and surface water, insufficient drainage, excessive seepage, waterlogging, etc. Then poor on-farm management. This has come out past 30 years. It is improving. Absence of farmers' partial irrigation management. This also is improving now. Lack of communication facility in the command area. Not enough communication in the command area in terms of telephone, in terms of road network. Now it is all much improved. Poor extension services. There's no pilot project in the command area. There's no demonstration farm in the command area, which again has been corrected now. Then another most important thing is land settlement and rehabilitative displaced persons. Because of this, there's a court case and the projects do not get the command area that they were doing it. Then the project cost recovery is also an important thing. So all these led to the inadequacies in the canal irrigation system. Now we look at this, how do different people look at an irrigation project, whether successful or not. Now, irrigation project will have people who are in laborers, the farmers, an irrigation engineer, an agriculture engineer, economist, agriculture economist, general economist, political economist, and sociologist. So if a landless laborer, he thinks an irrigation project is very good if he has increased number of labor days and increased wages and increased number of working days. The farmer thinks if the water is delivered to his field in adequate time, convenient time, predictable, so for his preferred farming practices. An irrigation engineer wants efficient water delivery of water from headworks to outlet. Agriculture person is interested in what delivery and field application of irrigation water from outlet to the root zone. Then we have an agronomist coming into picture. He has to create and maintain the optimal soil moisture regime and plant growth in particular to maximize that part of the plant which is harvestable. For some plant, the roots are very important. For some plant, the stem is very important. For some plant, the leaves are very important. For some plant, flower is important. So he optimizes the moisture regime to see that part of the plant which is harvestable is maximized. Then we have an agriculture economist. He wants high and stable farm income. Then we have a general economist. He wants high internal rate of return. A political economist who has recently come into picture, equitable distribution of benefits, especially disadvantaged groups, and a sociologist who is interested in the participation of farmers in management. So these are various type of people who are involved in irrigation. Now we look at this a picture how the different disciplines are involved. Now a hydrologist is involved in the amount of water, available water in the catchment of a river, then what available at the point of diversion, what at the outlet, and what in the root zone. That's what we teach in hydrology. In undergrad, these are things. An irrigation engineer is interested in from the reservoir to the water outlet. An agriculture engineer is interested in outlet to root zone. An agronomist is interested in root zone to production. An agriculture economist from production to net gain to farmers. But for good irrigation management, a person should know at least the amount of water available at the outlet, to the water at the outlet, at the reservoir, the water at the outlet, water in the root zone, to the production. So that is what is recommended now for a good irrigation manager. So you find when you have coming to the topic of talk today, we find that why do we need benchmarking to establish priorities of work in the project in comparison with other projects? Like in each project has is different priorities. What is to be done for a project? Please remember, benchmarking is project specific. So we have to. Another objective is to establish better practices to improve the administration, technical, and operational efficiency of the project. Evaluate various impacts that have occurred as a result of irrigation. Create awareness among the irrigation providers. Now, there are many indicators to show that water, the irrigation system is good. So there are indicators. So indicators depend on the criteria earmarked by the authorities who want to evaluate the performance and efficiency of the project. So the authorities define what should be the criteria. So the irrigation project began multidisciplinary activity. Please remember, the moment I think about irrigation, I only think about the huge structure, the network of canals, regulators, etc., etc. We never think about water, that's the throughput. So we have to think about the whole thing. So it's a multi project. So we have to design to make them useful to evaluate different parts of the system. So these indicators are useful to project managers, the different farmers groups, design engineers, agronomists, inter agencies which are funding the project, statisticians, sociologists, and environmentalists. So what are the various benchmark irrigation projects they grouped under? One is water input and output. So here we talk about the performance indicators relative irrigation supplies, its actual farm use, irrigation efficiency in conveyance and canal operation. These are all covered under this project. Then we have got a project economics. The performance indicator related to internal rate of return, because we spend a lot of money, whether internal rate of return is there. Operational maintenance costs are how much the operational maintenance cost. Where are we able to collect the water cess from the people? What are the expenditure on salaries and staff and other ancillary costs? These are all covered under the project economics category. Then we have the social category. This category, performance indicator related to implementation of participatory irrigation management through water user association. These are covered. Then we have an environmental indicator, which show that the irrigation project do not have a irreversible impact on the environment. So that is already studied there. So irrigation lands are affected due to waterlogging and salinity. So irrigation area forms the base strength for agricultural production. Any type of damage to the irrigated area in the form of waterlogging and soil salinity will reduce agricultural production because the impaired crop growth and impaired farm operation. So waterlogging and salinity are also important environmental hazards. Then we have the area damage due to waterlogging. So you calculate the percentage as a percentage, the damage area to irrigable command area, and use as a landmark, as a benchmark indicator. So we develop an indicator called land drainage index, which is coming like this. Land drainage index is damage area in hectares divided by irrigable command area as a percentage. And this damage area in the above equation includes waterlogged as well as area affected due to soil salinity. So everything should be considered. Now, we also talk about the status of groundwater levels. When you have an irrigation project, it does affect the groundwater. So change in groundwater level obviously influence the status of waterlogging. So if the, normally in normal soil, the water level, the capillary rise in the irrigation system by groundwater is around 1.6 to 1.5 meters. So if the groundwater level is below 1.5 meters from the root zone, then there won't be any waterlogging. So this is very important. What is the groundwater level? So change in the ground level is very important. Therefore, the benchmark indicator revealing the average groundwater should help to assess the degree of problem waterlogging will cause. Then you find the wells. There are many wells which are there. The well water levels of the wells are taken post monsoon and pre-monsoon season. The wells can be grouped under different categories. So wells with groundwater level in the range of 0 to 1.2 meters from the ground surface, 1.21 to 3 meters, 3 to 3 meters and beyond. So all these are classified, are calculated, and then we find that wells are classified in the different zones. The first one is safe, is a very critical zone, groundwater level in the range of 0 to 1.2 meters. Then the danger zone is substantially higher. Then wells alarming zone is 1.21 to 3 meters from the ground. And if the water level is below 3 meters, they are considered wells in the safe zone. Now we have different types of irrigation efficiencies. Not all water taken from the source reaches the root zone of the plant. So part of the water is lost during transport through canals and in the fields. The remaining part is stored in the root zone, eventually used by the plants. In other words, only part of the water is used efficiently. The rest of the water is lost for the crops on the field that were to be irrigated. So that's also very important. So irrigation waterlogged canal could be due to evaporation from the water surface, deep percolation of soil layers underneath the canals, seepage through the bunds of the canals, overtopping the bunds, bund breaks, runoff in the drain, and very common thing that we use rat holes in the canal bunds. So the when surface runoff, whereby water ends up in the drain or deep percolation soil layers below this point, these can be controlled due to the waterlogging can be controlled. So if an irrigation efficiency is that part of the water pumped or diverted through the scheme inlet which is used effectively by the plant. So the irrigation efficiency can be divided into the conveyance efficiency, which represents the efficiency of water transport canals, and field application efficiency, which represents the efficiency of water application in the field. So we find in large schemes, more water is lost than in small schemes due to longer canal system. From canals in the sandy soils, more water is lost than from canals in heavy clay soils. When canals are lined, only very little water is lost. If canals are badly maintained, bund breaks are not repaired properly, and ragged holds, a lot of water is lost. So you find when these things happen. Now you find when you have a adequately maintained canal, so it's some indicative value. Long canal that is over 2 kilometers, the efficiency is around 60% in sandy soil, 70% in loamy soil, 80% clay soil. Line canal is 95%. If the medium length of canal, 200 to 2,000 meters, 70% is efficiency in sandy. It's only indicative values in sandy soils. And if your line is always 95, and short canals, which is just 200 meters or less, we find in sandy area it's about 80%, loamy 85% loamy area, clay 90%, and line 95%. So irrespective of the size of the canal, if we line the canals, we find the efficiency very high. Now, you also find different type of irrigation methods. Surface irrigation, the field application is around 60%, sprinkler 70%, drip irrigation is about 90%. Now we have stream irrigation efficiency, which is the conveyance efficiency and the field application efficiency multiply express the percentage. So a skip efficiency of 50 to 60% considered to be good, 40% reasonable, while a scheme irrigation efficiency of 20 to 30% considered to be poor. So these are all things we have to calculate at regular intervals. Now we need to collect a lot of data for benchmarking processes. So we have to collect primary data and secondary data, and we need this in a compiled format, and we have to set up a set procedure for collection data and processing. So we find for this project, the type of data type. One is system performance indicator, the data for that. System agricultural productivity indicators, finance indicators, and environment indicators. Then indicators can also be identified. The indicators based on primary data, indicators based on secondary data. So primary data are the inflow volume, revenue collected from water users, total O&M expenditure. The secondary data are evapotranspiration, which is calculated, which relies on the climatic data on the location and rainfall, etc. The second data may be collected either by the organization or through external organization. Generally, irrigation department doesn't collect the secondary data. So some of the data requirement is common at different stages. So data requirement for benchmark process are given below. We have got a requirement system performance, current canal capacity, design peak irrigation water demand, total daily measured water intake or field or head, water used by crops to meet evapotranspiration, total daily measured rainfall, total combined area serviced, total annual irrigated area, crop area. Then productivity performance, total daily measured water intake, total combined area serviced, total annual irrigated crop area, total annual production, market price, minimum support price, water used by crops to meet evapotranspiration demands. Then for financial performance, you find the total combined area serviced, total daily measured water delivery, total revenue collected, total O&M cost, maintenance, management operation cost, the number of people who are there for MOM, total revenue due. Then environmental performance, again, we calculate total combined service, total daily measured water level at the intake, measurement of water table, waterlogged area, salinity, electrical conductivity of irrigation water as well as drainage water, the total daily measured drainage water, measurement of salt content also is very important. So some of the data requirements are self-explanatory, that means you know what it is. Important necessity, method of collection, etc. are discussed in detail, what only we discuss in detail. Methodology of data collection process is given below. So you find actual discharge capacity canal at present. It can be measured using flow meters, measuring flumes or control structures. Data we collected at the start of the season. Then designed peak irrigation water demand for the month or fortnight is their computed value of the fortnightly monthly peak for crop water requirement. This should be worked out for each season, then depend on the crop evapotranspiration requirement, command area efficiency, etc. Then you have the total daily measured water intake of the system. So you measure here the daily water measure at the daily measured water delivery at the field. So volume of water to be released at the field head is more than the consumptive use. So whatever the consumptive use, you should deliver more water at the delivery head. Water required to release at the canal head will be more than water released at the field head, depend on the conveyance efficiency. Daily measure water released at intake and to the field is made. Discharge should be measured at least twice in a day, convert to daily volume, and then to total volume. So we have daily and then seasonal. Then you also find the total daily water used by the crops to meet evapotranspiration demands. So amount of water used by the growing plants to meet ET, expressed in meter cube per hectare or depth units. Then there are many methods. The most common used method is the modified pen method. And I'm not going to give these details about this. This can be found in the guide for estimating irrigation water requirement released by the Ministry of Jal Shakti now. That can be referred. And all climatological data can be collected. Then the method of penman involves crop evapotranspiration and climate data. So these can be calculated. So I'll just keep some of this. Now these are all related to that. Now some definition is always required. Net sown area, total area sown with crops. The area sown more than once are to be counted once only. Gross area sown, total area of the crops under all crops over the various seasons. The intensive cropping ratio of gross area sown to the net area sown. The net irrigated area, total area under irrigation. So area irrigated more than once we counted in time only. So these are some of the definitions that we use. So points for consideration are recorded data on actual annual irrigated area based on verbal inquiries that ask talk to people and not on correct measurement. That means you are measuring under reporting way, they're measuring. So you talk to people and actually find out what's happening. This is what is happening now. Unauthorized use of water has become a common practice. Concerted efforts have to be made to get rid of these problems. These are the problems where you don't measure but talk to people, get it. These are to be avoided. Then the annual production of each crop is also calculated. How much is the yield per crop? Then find out the minimum support price, market price, and then calculation of data on total annual tonnage of agricultural production. They convert to monetary value by adopting market price MSP, and this you have to refer to the concerned revenue department. So total revenue collected from water users is very difficult to get. So total revenue due to the year, the water rates, farmers are charged for the water supplied. They vary from state to state, project to project, crop to crop. No uniform set principles in fixing water rates. The factors which govern generally considered determine water rates are cost of water supply, paying capacity, water required by the crop, source of irrigation, type of land irrigated. Okay, so these are various things. So there is what you call the area-based charging, and you got volume-based charging, crop-based charging, and volumetric charges. So today, because when volumetric charges are there, the present practices result in wastage of water. So country will have to move to charging on a volumetric basis. So there's a proposal by the government that supply charge water based on the volumetric basis. But however, the volume consumed may vary significantly between season to season as well as within the season, so difficult to calculate. Additionally, fixed charges per hectare can also be considered. So the various things are being considered. Earlier, we had crop-based charging. Farmers' choice of crops will be influenced by different charges, whichever crop is, which yield better revenue, that's what farmers grow. So charges are unaffected by the amount of water actually taken. So these are all things which are under consideration now. The revenue collected also, there is a tremendous diversity in the country, and mechanism of collection of irrigation in water revenue also. Actual revenue collected is substantially lower than the revenue due. Main reason can be under reporting of the area irrigated. Efforts are made to rectify this situation. Okay, then total management operation cost includes the cost of the personnel employed, capital expenditure, depreciation. Then we have to take this cost vary from state to state, project to project. Within the same state also is different. So main objective of the maintenance operation management cost is to achieve stipulate level of project services, maintain the minimum achievable cost, and optimal use of water. So when you want to do this management operation management cost, we have to actually identify the number of persons involved in O&M, cost of technical staff, proportionate cost to the higher officials, cost of skilled, unskilled manpower, labor cost and material cost, cost incurred in training and education of farmers, and O&M personnel expenditure. The maintenance. So you look here, there are many things which are involved. You have trained the farmers, you have trained the personnel, trained the engineers everywhere. Okay. So periodic measurement is very important. And water table are to monitor regularly. So mostly it is a monthly. Average annual depth of water table is average of individual reading over 12 months. That means you take average of the whole year. This data can be got from the state groundwater boards. And once you know the water table, the waterlogged area can be identified and measured. Then you also have to take the salinity, collect water sample, one sample per every 4 hectares, test for salinity alkalinity, identify the measures, and measure the area under salinity or alkalinity. Then you talk electrical conductivity, test of irrigation inflow, you calculate, and normally we say the monthly collection of data is sufficient. For each year, a single value is considered sufficient. Reading must be converted into weighted averages according to volume. Volume of drainage flow can be measured by installing normal measuring devices. Now you have to process depending on the indicator that you have. Indicators mainly involve ratio. We only calculate ratios. So data is units as page for analysis should be converted to required units before entering into the database. So you find there are many things are given in the INSID guidelines for benchmarking, and this correctness of data is very, very important. Now, basic guidelines are we use the we have to assure that the overall quality irrigation system is good. Design the irrigation system for efficient, uniform distribution of water. Install irrigation system meet the design criteria. Maintain the system for optimal performance. Manage the irrigation system to respond to changing need for water. Do not overwater. Never water the soil is wet. Irrigate according to requirement of plants, and not on a fixed schedule. So based on the evapotranspiration. Apply only enough irrigation to replace water loss by ET. Water all plants deeply but infrequently to encourage deeper, healthier rooting. Until plants have developed roots, they may need more frequent watering than older plants. When determining water needs of plant areas, you have to dig about 4 to 6 inches to determine the moisture content. Then no do it. Generally water early in the morning is good. In between 6 p.m. and 10 a.m. Early in the morning or between 6 p.m. and 10 a.m. when temperature winds are lowest to reduce water loss. Excess irrigation after fertilization may cause leaching. Water lawns and shrubs separately. Water trees and shrubs longer and less frequently than shallow rooted plants. When watering plants on slopes, compact soils, or sandy soils, a series of several light applications may be required instead of continuous application. Watering too frequently may promote some disease in the landscape. Irrigation efficiency equally depend upon the good design, correct installation, and proper maintenance. Use only qualified irrigation professionals for all phases of irrigation management. This is something which we don't do in our country. So let us, as irrigation engineers, we'll go out there and we be amazing. And this one thing which I would normally say to all my students and colleagues, that can you go without complaining even once for 24 hours? Let us say the time is now 6:30. Till 6:30 tomorrow, do not complain about anything even once. And then repeat it every year, you find the whole life gets changed. So in irrigation management also, even in our department, we meet a lot of people. And it's also important how we meet this, the human relations also very important. There are people who you like, there are people who like you. Enjoy them. Especially when you go to farmers and you're doing good job, the farmers like you like the farmers, and you do irrigation because you like it, you enjoy them. There are people you like, but people who don't like you. There are people you like them very much, but they don't like you, accept them. There are people who like you, but people who don't like you, but you like them. You respect them. And people you don't like and people don't like you, you avoid them. This happens many times in the irrigation system. So let me stop here. And there are queries here. If you got any queries, you can send me an email, or I will reply to you within 24 hours. And then let me say thank you. And this is my hands. These are my hands. This is a project which I did when I was director CWRM Calicut, where we try to clean a lake using plants. This particular tree vegetation that you see, they belong to a family called Typha latifolia. In Telugu, we say Tunga. These plants have a tremendous capacity to clean water. So about 4 to 6 plants per square meter, if is drawn in the wastewater, you find the water quality improves by 95%. So this is a city lake which we took up, and then we cleaned it up. And then I was just taking the water with my hands when one of my scientists told me, "Sir, please hold it. Let me take the water. Let me take a photograph." So this, I got a national award for best, improving a urban lake. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, sir.
Yes, please. I did not use any equation design principles here because all of us know all these type of things. So, and I'll just add one small statement here. I've been setting paper for UPSC civil services and engineering service for past 20 years. And past 5 years only for civil engineering, civil services. And you find 58% of the people pass IAS, IPS are engineers.
Yes, sir.
And 85% of them take non-engineering subject as a special subject. Anthropology, sociology, and they do well. So it was decided, I was correcting, I go for correcting papers. It was once we decided that why not we make engineers take engineering as a subject and pass the exam rather than wasting time. So then a committee was formed. I was the chairman of the committee. We had a professor of IIT Roorkee, a professor from BITS Pilani, a professor from Jadavpur University, and a professor from NIT Surathkal. We sat together and we revised the syllabus, the 2023 civil service papers based on our syllabus, where we removed the entire first year, entire final year, and only second and third year subjects are put, and told the exam papers, make it easy, because these people are not going to do engineering job. They are going to administrators. Make engineering services very tough, but let engineers take engineering as a subject and then govern the districts and be secretaries. They do very well. So I was the chairman of the committee to revise the civil engineering syllabus last year. And last year onwards is my syllabus, our committee syllabus, which is being implemented. And I'm proud to say that 25 of my students are IAS officers today.
Oh, great, sir.
Whom I guided. And 7 or 8 of my students were chief engineers. Andhra Telangana, Abdul Bashir is my student. Sham Sundar is my student. DS and D, I taught him. Rahman, I taught him. So many of these people were my students. So I feel very proud. And recently, many are there in irrigation department. So I feel very proud that we produce good quality engineers whom we make them think. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a small question. What is your opinion on Mumbai to UAE railway loop, sir? Upcoming further project.
Yeah. Can you please repeat?
Sir, upcoming further project railway loop from Mumbai to UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
Actually, they are planning for transportation as well as the transportation of water and oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
As if we are in a stress situation in water condition, is it good for us to transport water to them?
See, there is something called as virtual water. I know about it. How much water is required to grow 1 kg of rice? Any idea? From the time you sow the seed till you harvest, how much water is
Maybe
required to grow 1 kg of rice? Any idea? Anybody? It is 3,000 liters. 1 kg of rice, if you want to
maybe a
grow, it costs 3,000 liters of water.
liter.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000 liters of water for 1 kg of rice. Right? So, okay, 1 kg of rice. So when I grow, I should, that means 1 kg, what 3,000 liters means 1 tanker of water. So when I should not grow rice in a place there's no water. I should not transport 3,000 liters of water to that place to grow rice. I should send 1 truckload of rice and make the people employable. So we should try to develop irrigation system such that the water goes everywhere, but not to places where you cannot do that. So India is now this was calculated around 2004. For every plant, it is calculated. For example, if you take let's say 1 vegetarian meal, right? I eat 150 grams of rice, some dal, some vegetables. So if you calculate water required to produce all that, every time we eat a vegetarian meal, we are actually eating 4,000 liters of water and drinking one glass of water, push it inside. If you're non-veg, you have to also calculate the water required for the animal. That's around 6,000 liters of water. So what happens many times, the water which is in less developed countries, we produce so much of food and send to other countries. Basically, we calculate when we do export, we calculate how much equivalent water, how much water I'm sending. So we have to think a lot of things about this before we do many of these type of things. In fact, I have my own reservation about that project. Technically, yes, a lot of things are happening. Many places, for example, there's a project planned in Orissa. I'm not able to get the name right now. From this Gulf of Kandy, what they try to take it, a 32 kilometers dam and construct water below the Narmada River. So a lot of things are happening, but then yes, we engineers as a whole should work as a team and then raise our voice, talk about it. But I do a lot of times. I do write in papers here and there, write letters, everything. But then our people like us are minority, right? We have to be, keep our eyes, ears open, and then react to the reality. They are proposing, but it will ultimately end up for transportation, not for water, because we don't have water to support. We do not have that much water. As I told you in one of the first meetings, India is a water deficit country. We are a water deficit country. Okay, I'll tell you one small example. In the year 2002, we had an ODA scheme to develop drainage systems in Andhra Pradesh when Chandrababu Naidu was the CM, and they gave a lot of money. And then one fine day, I get a letter from the British agencies. Sir, can you give a training for our municipal engineers on drainage system design? I said, yes. Then I was preparing my presentation. Next day, I get a CD. Sir, this is your presentation. When I saw that it doesn't work for India. You see, for example, in Warangal, when I was there, I get 900 millimeters in 60 days. In London, they get 900 millimeters in 300 days. So for them, irrigation means rainwater. For me, irrigation means dam, network canals, regulators, everything. That is my irrigation. So the irrigation management in Europe will not work in irrigation system in India. We have to have our own system, our own pattern, our own cropping pattern, our own methods of working. So then I told them I will not give your presentation. I prepared my own presentation. And then they listened to it. Then they said, yes, sir, there's not much difference. They use one rainfall value for the whole country. UK. Here, what is the rainfall in Warangal is different from Hyderabad to different from Visakhapatnam, different from Mangalore, different, everywhere is different. We can't have one standard for our country. So that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Yes, any queries, please? From anybody? Thank you very much, sir. Professor Jayakumar Garu. So an excellent lecture we have, sir, today on this
Very,
great occasion.
Venkateswara garu.
Sir.
Hello.
Sir,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Jayakumar garu, Professor Jayakumar garu.
Yes, Colonel Garu. Nice to see you.
Actually, we have we have invited you for certain sessions in under AP-USP project.
I know,
Urban Services of the Poor.
1994.
Public health
I
and
know,
municipal engineering
94 or
department.
95, around that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were engineering
Not
chief.
94, 2000 to 2008, between
Correct,
2000
correct.
and 2008.
Yeah, you were engineering chief.
Yeah, I was the chief superintendent engineer at that time.
Yeah, right. I remember.
And you were very, we felt very happy that we have been, our people have been trained in drainage management at that time.
Yeah.
So that they were very useful sessions from you. And this is a very new, this thing, benchmarking of irrigation, this thing, I have also not heard because I am in public health engineering nowadays.
Yeah.
Previously, I worked in the initial stages in irrigation. But is there any book or is there any module released by the government of India on irrigation?
Yes,
benchmarking?
there is a booklet by the government of India. I can share to Venkateswara Garu, and then he can share it with you. I'll send a PDF file.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In fact,
the first state to implement was Maharashtra. The Valmi Aurangabad, they did a fantastic job. And then I was the director CWRM in Calicut, which one division is equal to Valantari of Andhra Pradesh. They don't have Valmi in Kerala. So I was director of that. At that time, we developed a methodology to revamp all the Valmis in the country. So I visited every Valmi in the country as a director of CWRM. And director CWRM is also ex-officio secretary to Government of Kerala. Very rarely you find that post. So I was enjoying the 2017. I was also ex-officio secretary to Government of Kerala Water Resources, where we dealt with dam safety, with the interstate disputes, all sorts of things. I learned a lot of things, a lot of practical things I learned, which was very, very useful. So, and Kerala also implemented this benchmarking, Farmers Management Irrigation System Act, which Andhra Pradesh government did long back in 2003 or 2004. Farmers Management Irrigation System Act is fantastic. Raymond Peters was there at that time. I had to closely interact with him those days. There is great
a lot of need for R&D.
Yeah, great meeting with practicing engineers because we learned a lot from you. And about 27 engineers who came on the irrigation department, came for MTech in NIT Warangal. They used to work with me, and I learned a lot of field. I used to give them a field problem, not the typical computer mathematics, field problem. In fact, Shyam Sundar, who was director of Valantari, I gave him the sedimentation studies in Vaira River Basin. And he developed a model to find out how Vaira is getting, sedimented, filled up. So he got a good thesis, and he presented only last year when he had the age of 61. At the age of 61, completing PhD is not a joke, especially from Warangal, where he had to get 2 papers, publications, etc. And one of his publications was accepted for a very famous conference in Harvard University on things like that. It was pretty good. And field engineers, first 6 months, they have difficulty to adjust to academics, but later on, they give us a lot of ideas. I've learned more from field engineers than from textbooks because they give us problems. DBM 22 is one of my study area, DBM 36, DBM 38. I've studied completely all those type of things. And every DBM, I got one engineer, got MTech from that. So that is the nice things that happens. Thank you.
Right, sir. Right. Great, sir. So thank you very much, sir, Professor Jayakumar Garu, for accepting our invitation to give a talk on the occasion of Padmabhushan, Dr. K.L. Rao Garu endowment lecture, sir. Just 2 days back, that is day before yesterday, only I requested you, but immediately you said okay without any hesitation. And just for time slot only, you asked me some time to confirm. Otherwise,
I am now appointed as a committee member for revitalizing the drying up rivers.
Drying up rivers.
Okay, so I am a Rajya Sabha committee member meeting on 19th in Goa. So that's why I had some doubt. I said, let me see my calendar, and then that's why I told you I'll just come back. I was in Bangalore when you called me.
So we are very fortunate to have you as the keynote speaker for this endowment lecture, sir. And you have started your lecture with affirmation, sir. That is always inspiring for all the participants.
Yeah.
And told about the water availability in the world.
Yeah.
So most of us will concentrate only India or some states only. But you talked about the entire world, how the water is available. Then what is the meaning of the benchmarking? What are the indices used in the benchmarking? How they can be calculated? How they are evaluated? What is the importance of those indices in evaluating the performance of the irrigation systems? So everything is very excellent, sir. And it is a new topic, I think, even for some of the civil engineers. All these indices may not be knowing, and you have added the new things, latest things. So you have enriched all of us with the latest technology in the irrigation department, particularly for the evaluation of the performance, sir. So thank you very much, sir. And even in our student days, sir, you are very inspiring person, sir. Whenever you are very active, and the students are used to talk about some teachers. At that time, you were also there, sir. And every time, every student says that you are very active. Like that, our batchmates are getting inspired during that time also, sir. And still now also, sir, there is no change in your activeness, sir. Still you are looking young and maintaining the same activeness, sir. So I am very, very happy. And I am remembering the days, which exactly 30 years back, I completed my BTech in REC Warangal, sir. I am remembering those days, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So now I request madam.
On NITs in the country,
Sir.
NIT Warangal has the best alumni.
Yes, sir.
I mean, all in very good position. Like, for example, 1984 BTech, we have Mahendra Reddy, DGP, now
Yes.
present chairman TSPSC. We have got Krishna Prasad, who contested for election, won the election. We have
MP, sir.
Gopal, who is now
MP.
Chief Secretary, Orissa. We have one Ravinder,
Hmm.
who is now Chief Engineer, R&B, taken on recently. So
Sir.
many, 84
Many
batch.
are there.
And
Yes, sir.
an ambassador, India's ambassador in Norway, Balabhaskar, is 84 batch. He is presently India's
Sir.
ambassador in Norway.
Sir.
So many. We have got the best alumni in the country. And
Yes,
I
sir.
think we all should be proud of NIT Warangal.
Yes, sir. Still, I feel proud of REC, sir. Instead of saying NIT,
Yeah, REC.
I feel proud whenever REC Warangal, those words comes.
Yeah.
I am excited.
Yeah.
To little extent, sir. Huh? Thank you very much, sir. So now I request Engineer D. Rama, Joint Honorary Secretary of Telangana State Center, to propose vote of thanks.
Venkateswara, before she starts, make me an FIE. You tell me what are the formalities.
Yes, sir. I will call you, sir.
Yeah.
Just one
Great.
application you have to fill, sir.
Yeah.
Then I will take care of the entire
Sure.
process, sir.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, I will send the application, sir. You fill in online.
Yeah.
And after that, I will take care, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Right, sir. Most welcome, sir. So, madam, please.
Good evening, sir. I'm very thankful to IA by giving me this opportunity for conveying my vote of thanks to our today's respected keynote speaker, Professor K.V. Jayakumar Garu, visiting professor, some outreach advisor, IIT Dharwad, and member governing body, Wetlands International South Asia. I'm very thankful to Dr. G. Venkat Subbaya Garu, FIE Chairman, IITSC. I'm also thankful to Engineer M. Aruna, FIE Joint Honor Secretary, IITSC, and convener of the event. I'm thankful to Mr. Engineer Brahma Reddy Garu, past president, past chairman, IA Telangana State Center. I'm thankful to Dr. Ramana Nayak Garu, past chairman, IA Telangana State Center. And I'm very thankful to VB Singh Garu, council member, ISN Raju Garu, council member, Kondal Rao sir, Srinivasa Rao Garu, Sudhakar Rao Garu, Ashok Garu, Srinath Garu, Pratap Babu Garu, Ravindra Babu Garu, Sanjay Pan Garu, Shankar Garu, Akshita, and all honorable council members, IEI past chairmen, past honorary secretaries, members of Telangana State Center, committee members, IEI corporate members of IEI, distinguished guests, respective media, and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I convey our sincere and profound thanks to Professor K.V. Jayakumar Garu, visiting professor cum outreach advisor, IIT Dharwad, and member governing body, Wetlands International South Asia gathering as keynote speaker and delivered the talk on the benchmarking of irrigation projects. I would like to express my gratitude to the dignitaries, past presidents of IEA, past chairman of IEPSC, past honorary secretaries, and all council members for attending the event and making it a grand success. Thank you, one and all. Now I request all the members to raise for national anthem.
The sound rather.
Sound.
भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Okay, right, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, sir.